Hello young techies, welcome back to another video. In this video, as discussed, we are going to write the code for our quiz app, and with the help of codes we will try to bring life to our application. So without any delay, let's go to code.org and get started. So now we are on code.org, and I assume that you have created this app. All we have to do was to just create three screens, which is going to be start, score screen and quiz screen. So we will be starting the coding with start screen. So here you will see I have a label and a let's go button. So when I click on this let's go button, it will take me to the quiz screen. So now let's see how we can add the codes. See, as I'm going to click on this button, I will have to inform my app that someone has clicked on it. So for that we use UI control. We call it user interface controls, because whatever user do on the screen, this app is supposed to capture it and give the output based on that input, right? So for that we will be using, first of all, we will make sure that whenever the game application starts, we need to make sure that we set the screen. So set screen code helps you to make sure that this is the first screen that is going to be displayed as soon as you run the app. So I want the start screen to be the first screen, right? Then I have one more important concept of variables, because we are going to change the questions and continuously we will have to click on next button. So to capture how many times the next button is getting clicked, is it getting clicked for the first time, second time, third time, to capture that click we are going to create a variable, and I'm gonna name it as count, right? And in the starting I'm going to make it 0, because for the first question we will not click on next button, right? Now here I have used this. Now don't worry about this triangle, it's just a warning. It is saying that you have declared the count variable but you are not using it right now. We will use it in the coming part. Now here I want to add the code for this let's go button. So here, as I mentioned, that we have to make sure that we give the proper ID to each and every element, which is going to help us in doing our codes. Again, go to UI controls, and here you will see the first block that says on event ID type callback. This block basically helps you to capture what exactly is being happening on the application, right? So if I click on this button, it will mean that I have to select the ID of the button. So the ID is button start. If I hover my mouse over it, the ID is coming button start. And of course I'm clicking what kind of event I'm doing. Am I doing change, key up? I am going to click on that button. So that's why I have to select click. Now what exactly will happen when I click on button start? It should take me to the quiz screen. So for that, again, we will have to use the set screen. So it's quite basic and it's quite fun also. So quiz screen. So let's just quickly test it. I will click on run. Let's go. And here we are on the quiz screen. Good, right? Now you will see that I don't have to show this answer. Otherwise, what's the use of asking the question if you already give the answer on the screen? Not fair, right? So for that to fix, I will have to use a basic one, which is here. We will have to use the element which is known as hide element. So as soon as the quiz screen loads, I will make sure that I hide this one. Let me check what exactly. Let's come here and select the quiz screen so that I can get the IDs. Text area too. So I'll have to scroll down a little bit, and here we go. So it is going to hide the text area for me because I don't need it right now. See, it's gone for now. Now I have to write the code for this Mercury button, because of course Mercury is closest to the sun and that's the correct answer. So for this, first of all, let me go to the design part, and here let's select the quiz screen first. So here when I click on it, see, this button will be used for multiple questions, of course, and the name on the button should also change. So for this, I will, instead of Mercury, I will simply write here for now button, or I can say answer 1 and answer 2, right? Answer 1. It will be applicable for all the others, so that's why I'm gonna keep it vacant for now. So this is your Mercury, and I'll do the same thing for the Earth one also, which is gonna be answer 2, and let's keep it Earth for now. I'm renaming the IDs so that we will be using the same IDs for different questions. So yes, we'll have to make sure that we change the IDs a little bit. Now here, next thing we need to do is, let's come back to the code part. Now I want to write the code for this button answer 1, because that's the correct answer. So let's write the code for the first answer. Now I'll have to come here and scroll down where it is saying answer 1. So we will be using on event every single time we try to capture anything that we want to click. If we are clicking on the app screen, on event will be used for that. Now here, answer 1, what we need to do, if we give the correct answer, we will have to make sure that we show this content, right? This even if you are giving the wrong answer, we will have to show this, right? So it's up to you if you want to keep for the right answer also and give the explanation while you click the correct answer. If you want to keep the explanation while you give the wrong answer, that's totally up to you. So I'm going to show you how you can do that, right? So when you give the correct answer, we will have to first of all show this element, because we are hiding this text area in the starting, right? So here we have text area. Next, we will have to make sure that we set the properties, right? So here for this part, I think we'll have to keep it like this. Let's just have a look at it. Do we really need property for now? No, we don't need set property for now, because for the time being it is able to show the explanation on the screen, right? And then we have to create one more variable, that is going to be the score variable, because who does not wants to see their final score, right? So I'm gonna set it to 0. So we have defined it that it is going to be set to 0 now. Next is that I have to increase. Every single time I give the correct answer, the score should be increased. So for that, let's go to variables, and from there pick the third block, that is x equals to vacant. So on the left hand side of the equals to, you'll have to write the name of the variable that you want to make changes into. Go to math and then pick plus operator. We cannot just directly write it, it won't be able to understand. So that's the reason score is equals to score plus 1. So every single time you will give the correct answer, you will get 1 point. So this is how the first part of the question comes, right? We are showing the elements and it's absolutely fine. That happens for the second one, that if someone gives the wrong answer, so we will have to decrease the point, right? So I'm gonna pick another event, and let me just do one thing. Okay, now here I'm just gonna remove this. Now of course if you give the wrong answer, you lose marks, right? So go to math and use the minus operator, and then score -1. Still I'm gonna show the element on the screen, right? And if you want, you can show the score somewhere here, but I don't think we have not much of space, so we will show the score at the end of the game. So here 1 is this, right? So this is how it is going to work. Now let's try to write the code for this next button. If you remember, I said that we have to create a count to capture that how many times the next button is getting clicked. When the next button gets clicked for the first time, we'll have to change the question to question number 2, right? When we click the next button for the second time, we will have to change the question number to 3. So how we can do that? To do that, we'll go to control. So there is a block known as conditional statement, or which is commonly known as if block, right? So here this if block is going to help me. Now I have to also make sure one more thing, that whenever I click on this next button, so as we know, whenever we want to capture a click, we'll have to use the on event. Now let's just click on button next. So whenever we click on button next, the count will be increased by 1. So go to variables, pick the third block. Instead of x, we need to make sure that we write count, go to math, and pick the addition operator and increase the value of count by 1. So now what exactly will happen? I'm going to keep this if block here, because see, this if block will only work, this condition will only work if the count value is increasing. If count value is 0, it is not going to work. So I'm going to go to math and I'm going to use the equality operator. So here I'm going to just simply say, if the count variable value is equals to 1, of course it will be equals to 1 when you click it for the first time, right? Now, what exactly will happen if you click on the next button? First of all, we will have to make sure that we hide this particular text area, because we don't want to show the answer on the screen, right? And with that, we have to change the question also. So for this, I'm going to reset it, not run, just reset it and come back to quiz screen where I can actually see the IDs. So the first thing that we need to do is change the question. And how we will change the question? Of course, we'll use the same command, that is set property. And this time I'll go to UI control, and yes, I'm going to use set property, which is the ID is label question. So label question, and what kind of property are we talking about? We are talking about the text property, because we need to change this question, right? Now what exactly we want to show on the screen? I have some questions written for us, so don't check the answers. All right, so I'm gonna copy this and here I'm gonna paste it, because it might take time. Now you will see the red dots coming. Don't worry about it. It might be possible because here we have to make sure that whatever we want to write, it should be inside the double inverted comma. Okay, so you keep just keep a point of it that here there should be no extra, double inverted comma like this, right? Correct. So that's why known as red planet. So the question will change. After that, I have to change the button names. Like I don't want to show Mercury or Earth on it, right? I have to show here different text. So again, we will use the set property for both the buttons. I'm gonna pick the set property for both of them, and then let me just set it for answer 1. Of course, I'm gonna change the text this time. We cannot just allow the first button to be the correct answer, right? So I'm going to write the random answer, that is Venus. And for the second button, I'm going to use the text, and here I'm going to simply write Mars, because Mars is known as the red planet, right? Now here we have to change the explanation also. For that, we will have to wait for them to give the correct answer, right? So now comes the interesting part. You will use the on event again, but you can use it outside the if block, you can use it inside it, it's fine. So I'm going to use it outside the if block. So it says whenever you click on answer number 1, what will happen? The score will get decreased because this is not the correct answer. Venus is not the correct answer. So for that, go to variables again and change the score equals to, go to math, and here decrease the score by 1. Right? Okay, not only this, we will have to show the element which is going to explain the answer. So yes, we need to just show the element which we were literally hiding for the first time. Right? Now here I'm going to show the text area, and after showing it, we will again change the property because I don't want to show the same explanation for all the questions, right? So for text area, we are going to change the, again, text. Now everything is same. You just have to make sure that due to double inverted commas, it might create an issue. So better check for the red squares, okay? And don't be worried about it. If you feel like it's not getting fixed from here, at the top you will see show text. Now if you see this, you will have something like this. So you will see it's too long. So that's why it's having an issue here, Mars. All right. So now we have this part, and yes. All right. So we are good with this, no problem. So sometimes it might create a problem for us. You can just do one thing. Okay, I'm gonna reduce it. Alrighty. Mars has, so actually it is quite a little bit long answer, so it might be possible that it's not reading it. So it's okay. Let's just do it like this. I'm going to reduce some of the text, and let's just see. Just try to remove the extra commas and double inverted commas. It's quite long, so that's why just getting tired of it. Anyways, no problem. I'll just see to it. Okay, it is fixed now. Actually, it was having an issue with this string, so that's why it was just showing it. No worries. I'm just gonna click on show blocks now, and here we go. We are back to the blocks now. I'll just do it again so that it will be a little bit clear to you. Now here we have changed it, right? So when you give the wrong answer, then also you are getting the explanation, and when you give the right answer, then also you'll get the correct explanation. Now here I am again doing the same thing, but this time the answer is 2, which is correct. So go to math, get the addition operator, add the score over here, and there we go. Here it is. Now the score is increasing in the backend, so we don't have to worry about it. We will show the score at the end. Now here we have got only the code for one time. When you click the next button for the first time, we are changing the question. So let's just test it. Let's see how it goes. Let's go Mercury next. Can you see this? here the question changed, the text changed, but yes, the text area did not change because we did not hide it. So when exactly we are going to hide it? We will have to hide it every single time we click the next button. So you know the code, that is hide element. So let's just add it at the top, no problem. I'm going to do it again. Next, reset, let's go, Mercury, next. Works perfectly fine. Now when I click on Venus, I'm getting the answer, which is again a good thing, right? Now here this was only for one count, right? If you want, you can keep it inside it just to avoid the confusion. Let's just test it. Alright, Mercury, next, Venus, next. So for the next code, we'll have to write the if block again, right? So for this, either you can just go to control and get the if block again. Now you'll have to do it for the all the 5 questions or number of questions we are doing, because you know this particular code is saving us from duplicating the screens for multiple times for different questions. It will be little bit hectic for creating while we create lots of screens together. So here this is the possible solution. Using the codes you can do it. So when count value is equals to 2, all you can do is just copy it all. You can do it like click anywhere on the screen and try to use the left click, just drag it upwards and select it, Control C. Just use the arrow keys because the pointer will not work here. Use the arrow keys to bring this black. Can you see this black curve coming? Yes. So once it is here where I want it, Control V, and yes, I got the questions. I got everything here. Now here the global question needs to be changed, right? And what exactly is the question? Question is which planet is largest in our solar system? So question mark is required, of course. So I'm going to use the question mark here. So yep, I'm going to write all the questions, but this one I'm going to do it for you so that it will give you an idea. Now here I have written Venus. Now of course I need to use Uranus, right? And of course it's not the correct answer, but yes. Okay, next is Jupiter. So here I'm going to give Jupiter, right? Now again, if the answer 1 is correct, we will show the difference, right? So I'm gonna click on it and let me just remove it. Click on it, let me just remove it. So it is up to you if you want to give the answer explanation while the person is clicking the wrong answer. It's totally up to you, right? So I'm gonna get this Jupiter text. Let me just print it again at the same place like this. Now again it might throw an error that the string is not complete because it's not in the same line. That's the only change. That's it. Don't worry about it because this inverted comma is coming here, right? You can do it here also like this. Once you will do it here on the same line, try to put everything in the same line, then it will be fine. Now we'll have to do the same thing here. Jupiter is done for this part, and again see it will throw an error for me. Why? Because this double inverted comma is in the next line. That's why it is saying that, you know, we need to add the double inverted comma. So just keep on pressing backspace, and yes, here it is fixed, right? Don't be scared of errors. It's quite fun, and these are the good part of doing coding. Okay, so we have the next question, and my score is increasing very well. Let's go. Mercury, next, Mars, we have the answer. Next, Jupiter. See, works very well. So let me go and get more questions here, around 5. I'm going to add them and then I'll get back to you. But here you will see that count is important. This count value is increasing with the help of this code, because every single time I'm clicking button next, first of all this text area is getting disappeared or hiding itself, and this count value is increasing multiple times. So based on the condition, if the next button was pressed once, this condition is running. When the next button is pressed twice, this condition will run. So let me just quickly add the other 3 questions, then we'll get back to it. Alrighty. Alright techies, so I have added all of them now, so I'm only adding 5 questions, right? Now here you will see that if I still click next, it won't work properly. So after this is done, I'm going to use one more if condition, which is basically going to say that if the count value is equals to 5, so we want to move to the next screen because we are done with the question answers, right? So here I'm going to do the same code again, but this time I'm going to write something like this: count is equals to 5, right? So as soon as the count value becomes equals to 5, we have one more screen, that is a score screen. So let's go to the score screen right away, and here it is, score screen, right? So now what will happen? No other questions will be displayed, the score will be displayed. But here is the thing, that once you see the score, we'll have to make sure that we highlight the score on the screen. To show the score, I'll have to use one more known as your label, right? So I'm gonna show this text using set text. Now the ID of this label is label score, of course, so I'm going to use label score, and here I'm going to write the name of the variable which is holding all the score. So here it is, score. So here you have to write the text because no other block can be adjusted. I know you might be thinking, why don't we add the blocks? But there is no block available for this. You can simply write the name of the variables you have used, right? So this is the place where we will exactly see the score. Now we are left with one, that is your button home, which is going to be again taking you to the main screen. So here again we will use the same code that says button home. Where is button home? Okay, I think I just lost button home. Okay, no, here it is. Now let's use set screen, and we need to go to the start screen. So let's see how it goes. Let's go. Mercury. All right, now I remember all the answers. Mars, Jupiter, okay, Uranus. So when I click on Uranus, I'll get the answer. Next, Saturn, Venus. Okay, so here I think there is a problem coming. Just a minute. All right, so we are talking about the Saturn, Venus. Okay, so you will see the score is coming 1 because I think I gave the wrong answers also. So here it is. Now let me just run it one more time. This time we'll check. 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point. See, here we have done a mistake. We need to change the text here, right? So here it needs to be Venus also. Venus and Mercury. I'm gonna change it to Mercury, not Mercury, Mercury. Right, now let's just reset it and run it again one more time. I'm gonna just click on next, Mars next, Jupiter next, Saturn next, Venus next. Here you go. See, it's working perfectly fine. I gave 5 right answers and I'm getting score of 5. When I click on home button, it's taking me back to the main screen. So this is how we can create this quiz app without creating multiple screens. So you do have a choice. You can create the same screen. You can duplicate this quiz screen again and again. Change the questions by adding into the labels just like we did for the previous one. But I think using the code will make it more efficient, right? So this is how you can make your quiz, and you can add multiple questions here all together. It's gonna be really interesting. So with this, we have come to an end of this video. I hope this application made you happy and you really enjoyed while creating it. So do follow the channel and do give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and I will be back with another interesting application. So stay tuned.